Check your clocks, check your watches, check any timepiece near you. It's, it's Tegami Time with Optimal Time. Really glad I could do that. I had it preloaded. We're going to be listening to adventure, royalty-free medieval fantasy music. This was posted by Alexander Nakarada, Creator Chords. We'll see what the YouTube algorithm says about that. It's Tegami Time. I'm told that Tegami Time is a Japanese thing for letter writing. I imagine it has something to do with postcards, because I feel like that's something that is Japanese and would be a thing, for no other reason than it sounds right. I'm not doing postcards, I'm doing letters. So let me tell you a little something that we do here behind the scenes at Optimal Time. It's not all just long hair and rock shows and dying on Zelda. I do other things, like writing letters. It's an older form of communication that is underappreciated and undervalued these days, because who writes a letter? You don't. It's old, it's boring, it's whatever. What do I get in the mail? Bills. Hey, thanks for sending me a piece of mail, now I can go register at the DMV. That's all it's really about. But I refuse to let letters go that easily. As such, I ensure I write letters at different parts of my life whenever something happens. And as might have been evident on the last stream, we have moved Optimal Time Studios. And as such, I'm writing letters to people, letting them know about the change. If you want to be seen as something, you have to put in the hard work and effort into making it happen. I would like to be seen as a wizard. And as a wizard, you have to do wizard shit. And that includes letter writing, in my headcanon. And we'll go through the whole process. From writing the letter, folding, putting it in the envelope, sealing it with a wax stamp, and possibly a little charm if we're feeling oh so generous. Why is letter writing important? It's important to practice your penmanship. You always still find yourself writing things with pen and paper at work, so you want to make sure that you can be legible. You want to make sure that you can revisit your thoughts. Yeah, take a note on a phone. That's the new way of going about it. Fine. This is tradition. It's more. Yeah, can I not have the earbud tugging at the furthest edges? I'm not sure how well the camera can see me here. I'm trying to... This new auto tracking, it's following me everywhere. I'm scared. Why? We'll do right here. So in this letter I've written so far, let me run through a couple lines here. It's been just over 1 week since leaving the desert, and I wish to update you on my journey. Something like that. It's exciting. It's beyond what's expected. You can say, oh hey, I moved from this place to this place. But that's why a lot of old stories and old writings are vague, is that they tried to embellish it to give it the grandiose feeling that it needs. The Epic of Gilgamesh. It's an epic. We don't know where locations were where Gilgamesh went. Why? Because we weren't ever fucking meant to know it. That or the writer probably actually didn't know. He just heard it secondhand and actually decided to, oh hey, I'm gonna put some wedges in clay about it. This is my wedges in clay. It's no Epic of Gilgamesh, but it sure is epic. The mountains to the north are quite well. An initial storm greeted me upon my arrival. Thankfully, it was naught but the winds of change, and oh how they blowed. It was as if all the demons that had plagued me had chased me to my new home in its last efforts to swallow me whole. See, I'm not writing legibly. And now I am free. Sunny skies greet me where the temperature isn't in excess of 78 degrees. Cool wind and light breezes that surround the area have made my evening walks all the sweeter. You could say, hey, the temperature's really good. It's not too hot. Add things, spice it up, make it personal. This one is Heartbeat, royalty-free music by Alexander Nakarada, Creator Chords. All of these are posted by the same person, Nope, some of them are by Kevin McLeod. We'll get to the names as we go, but enjoy it. Heartbeat. Let's see, what else do I want to say? When you're writing a letter, you have to think, like, what's the message that you want to get across? Do you want to inform? Are you casually chatting? Is this something that you feel there's a message you need to convey that it can only be put into words? And you have to think, it's a purposefully long-form sort of communication, so whatever you write will get to them in 3 to 5 days. Typically 5 days. And then you have to think when they actually check the mail, because no one ever checks their fucking mail anymore every day. And then whenever they get it, to open it. I've got a family member. Sent them a letter months ago. They have it opened. They've never read the damn thing. But that's okay, because that's part of letter writing. So don't expect to write anything important that you want them to remember. Use modern forms of communication for that, a text or a phone call. But this is good for anything that you want to do, almost like a time capsule on. And how quick our world has gotten. Even just a few days can be worth a lifetime. Yes, I have a band about it. Let's see. Up with this ink. Desires continue to What brand is this? No, because I put another bottle in here, that's why. And the other one's like vinyl ink instead of this. Well, I think most typical inks are oil-based, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am, now that I think about it. I actually don't know. We'll have to look that up after this letter. Ooh, this is Melodic Celtic Fantasy, Fjordur. Full album, royalty-free music, posted by Alexander Nakarada. Sorry, Fjordur. Is that how you say it? Fjordur. That's not me trying to be a jerk. That's just trying to. I don't know how to do the O with the 2 dots on top. It's not Germanic. It's Celtic Northern, right? Yeah. So it's just not. I'm used to a more. Anything with Latin roots come naturally, but anything else otherwise just at a loss. Let's see. Hope you're doing well. Your desires. This ink has already hardened. Okay, I see what the issue is. So it's vinyl ink. And I'm not using it fast enough, so it's hardening and creating an outer shell. So then I get more ink outside to try and write on the outer shell, but then it won't come off. Or not enough is coming off because I'm not actually dripping it from the tip. Use a pencil, you won't have that issue. Well, it's a cool feather, alright? Look at that. Come on now. Wouldn't you want that? Oh, SpongeBob. There's much easier forms of communication, SpongeBob. Well, that's fair, Patrick, but I think that you're a good friend and I value your kids' counsel. Thank you, Patrick. We appreciate what you bring to the table. Let's see. How fare our dear pets? Titan must enjoy living as a king in his quarters. As before. The little is here. Oh, yes. They've grown accustomed to the attention so freely given relatives. Relatives is the word that I'm looking for. I'm going to proofread this. What's in a name, do you guys think? What's in a family's name to you? Is it a title given, or is it a name earned? I am on stream. I'm very much so on stream. Sometimes I wonder. I know it's been thought about before, but what dictates what family is? I think that family is those that you choose to care most about. The people that you invest in, that hope to lift you up as you lift them up. It's a symbiotic circle. We all work together to achieve. But in a manner of care and trust that's hard to describe. Hard to describe for sure. I wonder. Yes, I wonder. That's a good line. We are what we perceive. I like that one. There is so much more to see. how do I sign this one out? Best wishes. Fond farewells. No, it's not a glad letter. Best wishes just sounds too generic. There's not enough kick to it, enough punch. It sounds too vague. For all time, perhaps. May the rose writes to meet you. I'm not Irish. I'd eat my father if he was a fish. That one doesn't work here. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's Walter Cronkite. Yours sincerely. Keep up the good fight. Let's see. May the wheels of time guide you. May the wheels of time turn in your favor. Of time. Wizard. There we go. Typically what I'll do when I'm writing a letter is I will record the letter first using a voice to text just to get all my thoughts out and try to make it coherent without worries about mistakes, because then I can make the small edits there. And then from that quote-unquote first draft, I will copy over onto paper and make it my final draft. Usually I'm a lot more careful with my penmanship, but no. This is bad. I would lift it up and show you, but the ink has got to dry, so we'll come back to that. I have a feeling that can go down a little bit so you can hear me a bit better, because that's also starting to get in my freaking ear. This last sentence, may the wheels of time turn in your favor. I like that. I think that's a nice sign off. We're done. That's, yeah. Because I'm optimal time, like the sign says. So something time should do with it, no? I think so. Let's see, how many more pieces of paper do we have? We have one more piece of paper, and then I have to go to the other side of the room. So that makes one letter done. We're going to have to do several. I started the stream, I can't just end it. Who do I want to write a letter to next? That's the thing, you can write to anyone, just like you can message anyone. You can think, who do I want to keep in my circle of friends, acquaintances, family members, etc., etc. These are difficult questions. Say, dear who? My dearest, my darling, my beloved, my only, my most trusted, my ever faithful. There's so many introductions, there's so many ways you can go about this. I'm having a hard time. I'm getting writer's block thinking, who's gonna get a letter next? Well, I've only known so many people, so I can check my contacts. Oh wait, I made a list of people I want to write a letter to. Duh. I want to check that. Here we go. I see. And with the amount of work it will take to write all those letters, it's going to be a lot. I'm going to write a letter to my grandma. She would enjoy the nostalgia of this. When writing, you can develop your own font and your own styles. I like to do, if you can follow me here, I don't know how well this will work. A Y, oh, hang on, go the other way. A Y that goes up, down, circles back through, and strikes through itself. Yeah. It looks fine on my end, how I'm looking at it. Or the Z, and then I do the strike through in the middle of the Z. I think that's very nice. Why? Because I can. All letters and all words are made up. Who's saying that you can't do that? Here's a question for you. Can you figure out what font you naturally write in? Prime Metamoon. Tastes like Skittles. Don't want to relive that. Been 1 week since my last conversation. I do not wish for them to end. And so, here I am. Hmm? One second. How long am I on the... It's only been a half hour. No, I want to stick with it. Hope you're faring well. It has been 1 week since my last conversation, and I do not wish for them to end. So, here I am. This letter sucks, but we're going to do our best to salvage it. You know, in school, when they gave you the assignments saying do a first draft, or do a rough draft, then do a first draft, then do a second draft, then do a final draft. Sometimes the second can be the final draft, and then you have your final essay. You don't need to do that many, but do a fucking rough draft. What I'm writing right now is basically a farce, and I hate it, because this is just... I sound passive. I sound like I don't care. And it's supposed to be a caring letter. let me grab more paper. Chair stream. For any stationary buffs, I'm using the Juval off of Amazon. It's an older paper. Well, you can see that. It's regal, it's minimal, it's fancy, doesn't overstay its welcome. But it makes sure that you notice it. This one is the version that is slightly tarnished. So compared to the regular white shell, you have the aged paper look. You, my dear lost letter, are now to become a stand for both of these items, the inkwell and the pen. We have to find different royalty-free music, as that's getting way too much of itself. The Dark Wizard's Domain, Dark Ambient Fantasy Music Mix Playlist. I do not know if that is copyright free, so we will not. Free and epic fantasy, no copyright music. For Tomorrow by @savfk Music. There we go, a bit more subtle. Alright, let's try this one more time. My dear grandmother. Alright, buddy, don't get too big for your britches. You're supposed to be background music, thank you. But I haven't had any adventures. Well, yeah, I can come up with something. Dogs were adjusting. I wasn't sure what the hell was going on there. The weather was fierce upon arrival. Howling winds across the plains. But now, paradise. Unexplained Moon by Miguel Johnson. Copyright free orchestral music. One second. It's simple. If the dogs hear something, then I hear something. Let's see. You smile and wave as you pass by. And not. I'm realizing I don't want to write a letter to this person. Maybe not yet. I don't want to write a letter to Grandma just yet. Just because I don't have enough to say. Timing is also important. You have to get something to talk about. And if you're getting complete writer's block and you can't move on, then you can't move on, and then that's it. No harm done. At the very least, we got one letter done today, and I can feel good about that. Let's see. We will have to clear the nib. That's the word, I swear. And we're going to need to prep the envelope. This part is a lot easier than it's going to appear. Gotta... Okay, move on to the next one. Emotional fantasy music. It's gonna get really emotional, guys. Take off the auto framing for a second. Oh, look, it's Big Me. Hi, Big Me. Go away. This is the container that holds all my shit. We need an envelope, but this one's gotten dirty somehow. I see the silver is leaking. Is it still leaking? It's not. The silver ink that I have is leaking. I detest this brand. And I will be throwing them away after the next series of letters because these are terrible. The question is, do I want to write or address the letters in silver or gold? This person is worth gold. I will give them gold. Our selection of beads, we'll get to that in a minute when we're ready to make the seal. Let me pull out 2 envelopes just to be... Oh wow, that ink really bleeds through. Okay, how many of my envelopes did you ruin, you little shit? Good, only 3. That's fine. I hate this brand, and I'm gonna throw it away. Let's take out 2 envelopes in case I fuck one up. Right. The rest of this, for now, remains sealed. What I'll sometimes do is I'll sometimes add charms onto the envelopes, but I do not have an envelope, or I do not have a charm that I want to put on the envelope. You are still wet. You're going to take a long while to dry, but considering how much ink I used, yeah, that tracks. Let's see. Damn, I almost forgot the zip code, but simply by looking it up, I can see it. 89101. Don't forget the zip code, kids. They're not going to mail your shit if you don't do it. There you go. Letters properly addressed, written legibly. It's great. It's not exactly in the best places that I would have wanted. It could have done a bit more. You can't see the address or anything just with the angle of the shadow, so that's fine. But I would have wanted that more centered, if anything. But given how cockeyed? No, not cockeyed. Hokey? No. Given how thrown together this letter is, it's fine. What I could do is I could get like glitter and then put that over in the wet ink instead of using this shimmer ink. Since this one's so shit, I could just get better yellow ink and then get like gold glitter. Too bad that's not what we're doing. That does shimmer nice though. Blowing it gently. Thank you, Scott Buckley, for this amazing soundtrack. Now let's check the letter. How's this thing doing? Oh, you are still very wet. Well, you letters are. Most of them are fine. Surprisingly, I think it's just that last one. while that dries, let's see if I can't do the addressing one more time, but a touch better. This way I can get a bit more control of how I'm writing the names. We're going to have to cut the commercial break for a restroom break. Let's see. There we go. Much better. I kind of blotched an A on this, but I do feel a lot better about that final product, especially on the spacing and everything. Not everything can be perfect. Take the rough with the smooth as best you can. So that's fine. Let's see. We're gonna do a be right back. Stop the music. Let me ask you this. Look me in the eyes. Let me ask you this. What the fuck was Evangelion? I'm just saying, as an anime, made no fucking sense. I was talking to my homie about that earlier, and I've been thinking about it since, because I've been trying to think, like, how do you describe that? I've met people who have seen the anime. It doesn't make any fucking sense to them. And yet, widely renowned as an amazing piece and a must-see. I think because we all agree it's a fucking fever dream. Thank you, Scott Buckley, for this non-copyrighted music. Phoenix and Epic. You dry yet? Almost. We'll use the letter. We'll do this. This can help speed up the drying process, but it's totally not worth it. I'm just, for lack of a better option at this time. Because I can't move on to sealing the letter until we get the letter in there. Oh yeah, this was also a thing that people used to have to do, is that they'd write letters and then they'd have to leave the letters out to dry. That's why there was writing desks, specifically for things like that, where, hey, that one's written, that has to let the ink dry. Because this is how they used to do it. And now I use it to send shitty memes. My hope is that one day someone in the far future will see my letter and think, what the fuck did people of that time think was happening? Okay. Y'all dried up now? Let's do a finger check. It's not the best way to check and see if it's dry, because if it's wet, right now I'm smudging the shit out of it. But thankfully it's all dry. Cool. Now the dimensions of the paper, 8.5 by 11. The dimensions of the envelope, 5 by 6 or something like that. Obviously not equal, so I have to think every time I fold one of these letters how I'm going to fold it. I don't typically fold them the same way. I fold them in interesting ways, that way they can fit into the envelope better, but also providing some amusement in how I folded it. So right now I'm going to fold this paper into a square. There we go. I'm going to fold that angle up to there. There we are. Now we're going to fold this angle over here. Very good. Look what I've made so far. I don't know what it is, but we're on our way. It's a shape. It's tall enough to fit in the envelope, a little too tall. It actually needs to get folded in half or something like that. Or at least take an edge off. In any case, fold this. I think I've accidentally made part of a envelope and folded out of the paper itself. Interesting. Scott Buckley with Stars in Her Skies Orchestral. Thank you. Can I just, like, do this? Hang on, if I do this and just actually match up that line, that works out perfectly. Ooh, it's all coming together. Boomerang. It's right back at you, or whatever the fuck they said. Yeah, boomerang right back at you. Okay. I've folded it into a shape. I do not know which sort of shape it is, but it is a shape. So I am told. Let's fold this under that. That's right there. Cool, why not? I almost kind of like folding it into the shape. It makes me think of the flag for Chile, I think is the flag. I'll look that up in a second. But alright, so letter in the envelope. Perfect. Question is, what sort of ink are we going to use? Let's start heating up our ink warmer. Or not ink warmer, wax warmer. Got a nice one here. Has an aluminum foil aluminum foil on it, so we don't have to worry about spillage. At least spilling it on the wax warmer than having a burn smell. So, 2 of these things to choose from. All sorts of colors. This individual does enjoy pink J's, so let's see. Let me find... Here we go. We're going to take 2 pink... we'll do 3. 3 pink beads. And I believe there's some gold remnants at the bottom of the wax spoon from my last letter. So it will be pink and gold. This will look delightful. Now, for those who have not seen an official Optimal Time letter stamp, I will show you really quick. It's that. I don't know how well that picks it up, but you're going to see it's going to look absolutely beautiful. I'll post a picture of it and put it on Instagram, perhaps. It's an hourglass with a skull at the top, feeding into sand and stars at the bottom. An eye at the bottom of the design, a star at the top of it, both outside the hourglass itself. Very beautiful stamp that is representative of letters straight from me, and I love any excuse to use it. Helps prove that it's an official letter written by me. So if anyone says, hey, he wrote me a letter, and if it's in a regular ass envelope with a regular ass stamp, and it's just like a 8.5, like a business envelope mailer or something like that, no, I spring for the purple envelopes. I go for the gold and the silver on the addressing. I put a wax seal on the other side. If you ever get a letter from me saying, hey, I decided that to sell all my stocks and I'm leaving the country, but it doesn't meet these criteria of what I'm doing right now, it's not me. Assume that I'm dead, call the police. Let's see, how's our wax doing? That is a lot more gold than I thought there was. Quite alright. Let's cover the gold wax since we're done with that part for now. I'll wait for that wax to heat up. And let's clean up a little bit, shall we? You go in here. You, my wonderful multi-surface cleaners, can go over there. The phone to my left. You go in here. Oh shit. Scott Buckley, Stars in Her Skies. Thank you for that beautiful piece. I really appreciated that. Hope everyone's doing great out there in the great wide world. It's Tegami Time here at Optimal Time. We are enjoying ourselves writing letters. Now we're listening to Scott Buckley's song Sanctum. It's an epic. Scott Buckley from Brisbane, Australia, a cinematic producer. Good for you. Okay, the wax is now melted. Forward. And pressed. What I've seen some people do is they'll pour their wax onto a silicone mat, press it with the stamp, allow it to cool, and then peel it off, and then they tape that on the back of the letter. That's a smart thing to do, honestly. I don't know why I don't do that. I just put my wax straight on the envelope, and if it burns it, it fucking burns it. But I've never had an issue with burns. It's always properly sealed my envelopes. Tell you what though, 3 pieces plus the gold was too much, because there's a lot of wax on this envelope. I will lift it up after. Hell, this thing's hot too. I find wax so fascinating. I don't know why. Wax is a material. It's just very. It's. I don't know. Here's a little jar full of wax. No other reason. No other reason. I just like wax. Oh shit, we should turn off the wax warmer and not burn down the place. We continue with our cleanup. We'll wait for the wax to dry. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you received a handwritten letter? You looking at me from beyond the glass. Was it from a friend? Family member? Someone you cared about? Whoever it was, I hope they wrote you a great one. Who knows, maybe one day you will write a letter yourself. It's fun. I suggest it. It takes a bit of effort, but all fun things do. Nib. There we go. To put the pen away, and then you wrap it gently inside the case. There we go. Gold ink. You go over here, and I'm rearranging things so you don't leak all over my shit again. There we go. Envelope stand. Ooh, here's a great question, and one that will have to come after another break. As I learned, do not mix chocolate milk and ramen. It does not sit well. As I said, don't do chocolate milk and then ramen. It was delicious ramen, but just save yourself the trouble. We're gonna wrap this up so we can get the hell out of here. The ink is now, or the wax is now dried. Interesting. Not enough of the wax was underneath the envelope, so it's actually slightly transparent in how that's stamped. Let's get a little more brightness on that. Yeah, because you can see the silver from the trim of the envelope right behind the seal. That's very interesting. Lastly, on this we need some stamps, and I have these wonderful tulip blossom ones. Because who doesn't love a good flower? It takes 2 stamps for these sorts of letters. These are forever stamps. However, because of the size of the stamp, I can sometimes get them sent with just one, but typically they'll send it back saying not enough postage, so I'll have to put on a second. So there is the second. The envelope is now ready. Got lighting on that. It's beautiful. Look at this. We made it ourselves. Aren't we so proud? This is an Optimal Time letter. And that's going to go in the mail tonight to be sent out tomorrow. I can continue cleaning up, but thank you for chilling with me for the past hour 13 while I was missing for 20 minutes of that.